Hello from the Zanut TV news desk, I'm Nick Peters. Now last week, the Chancellor of the Exchequer received quite a mixed reaction from industry when he announced the scheme that's going to take over from the job retention scheme, or furlough, when it ends on October the 31st. In some parts of the economy, companies were even suggesting that employers would in effect be paying extra tax to keep employees on and not make them redundant. In one very important part of the manufacturing sector, however, the news was greeted quite positively. The Confederation of British Metalforming said it would help retain employment, not cut it. Steve Morley, who's president of the CBM, told me more.
I think our members were looking for something to fill the gap when the furlough scheme ended. And we had been lobbying through the government, but also through the larger lobbying groups, for something to come in place so that we could protect some jobs. So basically, at the end of October, everything would have fell off the face of a cliff. And those who already had made redundancies would be making lots of redundancies throughout October, leading up to the end of October and the end of the furlough. So it is welcome, and it will protect jobs, without a doubt.
Just to give us a bit of context here, Steve, how many members have you got? How many employees? How important is your part of the manufacturing sector to manufacturing overall?
Our trade association, we cover nearly 200 members. They employ pre-COVID 40,000 employees with a £4 billion turnover. So it's quite a large chunk of the metal sector. We cover sheet metal, which is what people might know as press work, fabrication. We cover fasteners, we cover forging, and cold roll steel, cold roll section. So we've got quite a wide range of members, from big tier ones with thousands of employees down to small companies with 20 employees. And I think we are good at getting to the coalface. So we work very closely with big organisations like the CBI and Make UK, who are part of the B5. But we are talking to the people on the ground. We are actually at the coalface, getting information and knowing what's really happening within them companies.
I understand you did a survey last week in advance of the Chancellor's announcement. So you actually have some pretty hard data on this.
Yes, we surveyed our members to coincide with the announcement. We knew that with 45-day deadline approaching, that something would have to happen. So we got fresh data. I mean, 90% of our members use the furlough scheme, and 65% of those members said that it would protect jobs and change their mind about making redundancies.
That is quite a difference, and contrasts quite starkly with other sectors who are feeling that the Chancellor's new measures were not enough to protect them moving forward post October 31st.
Yeah, the problem the Chancellor's got, he's got that many sectors to deal with. He can't please everybody at the moment, and that's unfortunate for him and this problem we've got. In our manufacturing sector, automotive and aerospace have been hit particularly hard. There are small signs of recovery in the automotive sector, where sales have come back probably slightly better than expected, and our members are looking at probably to be 75-80% towards the end of the year for the last quarter. But the aerospace is just not working at all, and we have seen redundancy in the aerospace, and we don't see any signs of recovery at all on that side.
So whatever happens, it's going to be a long, slow road to full recovery as far as your members are concerned.
Without doubt, we've got the odd exception of someone doing very well. That's very rare, and some are just managing the situation they find themselves in. What the government's intervention does is gives our members time to plan for the next quarter and maybe into next year for the first quarter, so they can plan their labour plans based on the support he's going to give.
Well, that sounds like a breathing space and a very welcome one. But having said that, we're only about 3 months away from potentially the next hammer blow to hit our sector and our economy, which of course is the end of the transition period of Brexit. How disheartened are you by the prospects of no deal?
I actually voted Remain, But I am quite happy to come out now. I feel like it's in the writing on the wall. I think it's got to happen now. We can't go back over time. We're a democratic country, so we need to push that forward. And I'm confident that, as anyone can be, that we'll get some kind of deal. This government was elected on the mandate of Brexit. They can't fail to get a deal. If they think they can go out with no deal, then they'll have more disruption to an economy that can't afford it.
Final question, Steve. If you had the Chancellor's ear right now, what would you say to him?
I'd say, good job so far. I think you've got more work to do. In terms of our sector, which is what I'd be interested in, we need to make sure that the Sybil's loan, which now you've extended the terms to 10 years.
Those are the C-bills, CBILs.
You need to extend the C-bills loan out further, because what's happened now is people have took C-bills loans, once we get C-bills loans, that is, for a short period of time to cover, say, 6 months. Now, we all know now that 6 months isn't going to be long enough, so we need to see the C-bills deadline extended further out, and companies can go back to the banks and get more money to see them through to a period when they think they're going to get some stability. And also, more importantly, probably, there's a lot of companies who failed the viability test on C-bills because of the state aid rules, and that was never properly addressed. There was a little tinkering to improve it, but it never properly addressed. So there's a lot of decent companies who could not get loans at all, and them state aid rules need to be changed. It may not happen until January now, but they need to be changed so more people can access the loans. Hence, another reason for the extension. We also need to see a stimulus for automotive and aerospace that gives us some support to get the market moving.
Okay, and of course, if you had the ear of the government as a whole, it would be, for goodness sake, strike a deal with the EU before it's too late.
I think they're close. I attend a lot of meetings with people who are close to negotiations, and there's only a couple of sticking points which we need to sort out. Yes, we need to be as smooth as transition as possible, and let's get on with running the country. I think what we want to see from the government then is support for British industry by reassuring work to the UK. If we're going to be British and make British great again, we need to make sure we support British companies, and that's where the government have got to come to the fore after the transition period.
Steve Morley, who's president of the Confederation of British Metalforming. This has been a production of the Znut TV News Desk. I'm Nick Peters. Goodbye for now.